Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Man, oh man, we have got some very interesting things to discuss today in regards to Ricochet. Now, of course, pretty much since the inception of Ricochet and ever since we got a true anti-cheat in Call of Duty several years back, there's been a lot of doubt, there's been a lot of suspicion about just how effective Ricochet actually is, because clearly there's still a significant cheating problem in Call of Duty. It happens in multiplayer where the game costs $60-$70 to play to begin with. It happens even more over in Warzone where it's free to play. And it's been a constant issue since the start of Warzone and then even through the launch of Ricochet and however many updates we've seen on it throughout the years. And going right alongside the questionable effectiveness of Ricochet, we could say, is everything else coinciding with cheating. You know, the shadow bans, the comm bans, everything like that. And for quite some time now, we've had various presumptions on Ricochet and how it works. However, in the past couple of weeks, certain things have unfolded, and right now as it stands, we're in maybe the worst place we've ever been in terms of confusion, but also trustworthiness with Ricochet in general. Like, it currently is at an all-time low. And this all stems from a situation that started a few weeks back with streamer and creator BobbyPFF. Bobby's been, in the COD scene for some time, was, going at it back in the Blackout days, was a top player, then been a top player in Warzone for several years now, one of the top creators, right? And a few weeks back, Bobby ended up getting this message when he went to log into his account. I think it was on stream as well. Permabanned on COD, never cheated for a single day in the 90+ days played on Warzone. Won't tell me why either, but we stay grinding. And Bobby's account was in fact permanently banned. And there was this whole fallout of him saying he appealed the ban, Activision saying, hey, yeah, we found something on your machine. We're not going to tell you what, but there was something on your machine that triggered this ban. And the big deal here is that this was not just your ordinary shadow ban or temp ban. Those happen a lot, and that's something that really plagues, a ton of players, is the false shadow bans. And just to be clear, there is a distinct difference between a shadow ban and a permanent ban. Permanent bans are final, and we'll talk more on that here in just a moment, or so we thought. Shadow bans are a temporary limited time ban while your account is under review. Unfortunately, the shadow ban system sucks. It can be wildly abused by spam reports, and you can get stuck in shadow ban loops. This affects thousands and thousands and thousands of players and has for years now, and Call of Duty truly has never addressed shadow bans, which is its own unfortunate situation. But focusing purely on this permanent ban situation, it really was heightened by someone like BobbyPFF receiving one of these, someone who, has been involved in several different things with Call of Duty. Going to COD next, is on the whitelist that stops you from getting shadow bans, and then so this permanent ban definitely took a lot of people by surprise, right? And the big thing here, as I mentioned, is the fact that this is a full-on permanent ban. And we actually have clarification on permabans from Activision from some time ago. So with this was reported back in April of 2024 after there was questions about permanent bans being issued in Warzone and in Modern Warfare 3. And Activision's representatives reached out and officially clarified with various sources, including Charlie Intel, pretty much the most reputable source in the entire COD scene, saying, if you have been permanently banned in Call of Duty, Activision has stated that permanent bans are final and there is no such thing as a false permanent ban. So no one could be perma banned on COD, whether you are a random player who is on whatever platform, or if you are, the most popular streamer and creator in the world. If you get a permanent ban, they say it is 100% confirmed. Your account was either triggered by a shadow ban system or by several reports or by Ricochet detecting something on your machine, and then it was investigated and confirmed, yes, you had either broken TOS doing something, or you had, something on your machine that was against the rules, was considered cheating, and you were issued a permanent ban. And this is basically the rule that we've been going by ever since this was officially confirmed. Activision coming out and saying, yes, there is no such thing as false permanent bans. However, this was all flipped upside down yesterday. So this user, I've never heard of this person before, but Zeebler is, I guess, the owner or the creator of Phantom Overlay, which is a cheat program for Call of Duty, and I would assume other games as well. And they ended up posting this, which is the whole reason I'm even making this video to begin with, because this muddies the water beyond belief. Tomorrow, which is today, I'll be sharing full details on the simple exploit that allows you to falsely, remotely perma-ban anyone from Call of Duty by reason of cheating, even if you're not in their lobby. This exploit was found by someone else who does not represent most of the game hacking community. He has abused this exploit to get thousands of COD players falsely banned since nearly the start of the year using an auto hotkey script, which automates the process for him. I was not aware of the extent he abused this until today. I did know about this exploit for a while, and I validated it was real by asking him to ban some accounts, which he did. Those being Nuke Jesus, who recently posted a video about how a certain skin actually counters aimbot, and that was gathering a lot of attention. And then Parasite, former Call of Duty pro and Censor pro player as well. And I know that Nuke Jesus's account was permanently banned a little bit ago, and then Parasite reportedly got an account permanently banned, and then so did Censor as well. He also goes on to say, I believe BobbyPFF and several others were victim of this exploit, along with thousands of random COD players, but I do not have Activision IDs or info to vindicate them. With this, these accounts, now that were tested, hey, if this is real, prove it by banning these accounts, they were banned, and as of yesterday, these accounts were actually unbanned. Parasite, as mentioned, the former COD pro, ended up saying, I've been going through the ringer with this. Thank you to Activision and the Ricochet team for fixing this. Been playing competitively since I was 14. I'm now 30. He's now no longer permabanned. BobbyPFF, his main original account, also now unbanned after being permabanned, even after Activision doubled down and said, hey, you know, no, you're not getting unbanned. We found something on your machine, or Ricochet says something was on your machine. Well, he's now unbanned. So something changed, and it's likely the fact that that situation where someone has an exploit to permaban at their will, that was discovered, and Activision now has backtracked and unbanned the accounts that were affected by that exploit. So why is this such a big deal? Well, now everything is questionable. Modern Warzone, for instance, posts saying, well, there's now 100% false permanent bans in Call of Duty and Warzone, so you can disregard this tweet about there being no false permanent bans. This is obviously a direct conflict of the word that we were going off of for the past several months. So now everything that we know about Ricochet is, well, what's actually going on here? Truly what needs to happen is some kind of transparent statement from Activision. And as I'm recording this video, no such thing has surfaced. Perhaps by the time this video gets posted, there will be a post edit Zach interjecting here with maybe an update. So here we are. This is in fact post edit Zach, because about half an hour before I was planning on posting this video, they went through and COD Updates actually posted a tweet in response to these accusations in this situation of the anti-cheat basically being compromised. Here's what they say. Ricochet Anti Cheat identified and disabled a workaround to a detection system in Modern Warfare 3 and Warzone that impacted a small number of legitimate player accounts. We have restored all accounts that were impacted. An examination of our system was conducted for safety, and monitoring will continue. I'm really curious. They do say a progress report for Ricochet is coming tomorrow, but I'm really curious what they think a small number of accounts is. This, as a response, is something like they say, hey, yes, we know that this is actually a legit thing. So they are admitting there is a way that players were able to actually use an exploit to false permaban players. And at first, they didn't even know that, hence why BobbyPFF was originally denied his appeal. They didn't even know it was happening by accident or via an exploit, but it's not a very transparent update here. It's addressing the situation, but that's about all we can take it for, which is, in my opinion, an unfortunate response. We'll see if that progress report and anti-cheat update coming tomorrow has anything more to say on the matter, but this is their response. That's about it. But with this, Ricochet, in my opinion, has hit an all-time low. There was already very little trust with Ricochet to begin with, because clearly it's severely underperformed as an anti-cheat since its launch. Cheaters have still run rampant. The shadow ban issues have never been addressed. Everything like that just discredits Ricochet's ability to be a good anti-cheat. And then we're told there's no false permanent bans, only a few months later to then discover there was actually some kind of exploit that could be used on Ricochet to then false permanently ban players. What a mess. There has to be some kind of response to this. Either them saying, hey, we now know what the issue is, we can solve this, and Ricochet will continue to function as intended from Activision's standpoint. From our standpoint, that means it's not going to be a good anti-cheat continuously. Or they say, okay, Ricochet is flawed. Ricochet is compromised to a certain extent. We'll be updating our anti-cheat moving forward. And they maybe finally invest in a true, real, legitimate anti-cheat and actually try to thwart the cheating problem, or they upgrade something else in-house and have a different version of the anti-cheat, right? But there is no way that this can just be ignored without question now. This is one of the wildest situations I think I've seen in some time. You know, I've been doing this as a creator for over a decade now, and this is one of these stranger situations that we've had in Call of Duty, particularly because it is directly affecting so many large creators that obviously there's already a lot of drama, basically putting their word versus Activision's, and Activision's the one who's made the statement that actually obviously controls all this. So like, it is like I said, it's a mess. That's the best way to put it. This is absolutely wild. If there is any updates on the situation, I'll be sure to keep you guys informed, but for now, Ricochet is, you know, code red. There is something seriously wrong with this, and the safety of playing Call of Duty, I think, is in question right now, and the legitimacy of bans now also has to be brought into question. It's an interesting thing going on for sure. That said, that's gonna wrap things up. If you enjoyed the video, regardless, a like would always be really appreciated. And if you're new here every single day, I got you covered with absolutely everything you need to know about Call of Duty. So feel free to hit that subscribe button, turn on those post notifications on your way out. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.